Hi guys, this is Marc the Shark Retorto, and welcome to the Marc the Shark MMA show live on Twitch. I appreciate you guys keeping up and watching me. Make sure you follow. If you happen to have a Amazon Prime account, you can actually subscribe for free. And don't forget to follow me on my social media pages. The Marc the Shark MMA show on Facebook, Marc BJJ Fighter on Twitter, and Marc_Retorto on Instagram. And again, it's Marc with a C and not a K. And also don't forget to go to the website, marktthesharkmmashow.com, where you can make a donation to help support the contest. And you can also get t-shirts and hoodies, kind of like this one that I'm wearing here. Not too shabby, right? And also don't forget that me and my daughter's got books that we have both written. Hers is called the Invisible Girl series. Mine, I have two. One's called The Cabal, The Saga Begins. And my second book, which is out right now, is called Marcus the Vampire. It's the first book in the Dark World Chronicle series. So check it out at www.retortofamilybooks.com. All right, guys. When we come back, we'll start the show. I am sure you're going to love it. This week's episode is great. Make sure you follow me every week on this channel on Saturday. And don't forget that I also have a podcast, the Marc the Shark MMA show, which is available on Podbean. All right, guys, we're back on the show. Today we're going to be going over our fight picks with Zane here over for UFC 254, featuring the main card, Ganji versus Khabib. But before we get started, I want to give a quick shout-out to a guy who I just recently had on my podcast, Sam Alvey. He's actually fighting on the card as well. Good luck to him in his fight. How's it going, Zane?
It's good, Mark. How you been?
Good, good. Trying to keep busy with everything going on in the world today, right? So
yeah, be well.
Yeah, so which fight did you want to go over first? You were mentioning to me Lauren Murphy first, I guess? He's on the main event, like the second
Cynthia
fighter on the
Calvillo.
card. Say it again?
She's fighting Cynthia Calvillo. Lauren Murphy against Cynthia Calvillo. Now, I believe that Lauren Murphy has had a lot of success lately. She's I'm pretty sure she's in the win column the past couple fights. And Cynthia Calvillo, she's had, I think about probably the past year and a half, she seems like she's kind of running through the division. But I think she recently had a fight. I don't know if you have the research there, but I think she recently had a fight. It might not have gone her way, but this is a good fighter. Cynthia Calvillo is a good fighter. And I don't know if she bumped up in weight. I forget her history, but I know that Lauren Murphy is, I think she was asking for this fight, and she is very confident, and I got a feeling that it might go her way. I think I've always liked Lauren Murphy. I don't think she's the most technical striker, but I think that she has decent submissions, and she's just a tough girl, and she, I kind of sound like some of the people on TV, but I think she really wants to win this one. I think she's got more drive to win this particular fight than maybe Cynthia Calvillo, but it's going to be a good fight. I think that Cynthia Calvillo is very technical, very good, and I don't know. I think it's going to be entertaining.
Yeah, I'm actually showing someone different on the card. I don't know which. I'm getting mine. Oh, you're getting it off the UFC.com website or MMA Junkie?
No, I'm getting it off of UFC 254, the actual event.
Change the card. So you're going for Lauren Murphy on that one?
I like both of them. But I wouldn't say like. I respect both of them as fighters. I really don't like Cynthia Calvillo. I think she's, I don't know, a little yucky of a personality.
Oh, you don't like her? Yeah. So what do you think about the co-main event with Whitaker?
Well, Whitaker is always strong, but he's and this, we've talked about this before. When a fighter has a really good win streak, then they're not getting knocked out because they're winning. They're not getting hurt too much because they're winning. But when you get knocked out, it does something to you. Now, some people It takes longer for it to happen. But when you get knocked out over and over again, it takes a toll on the body. Now, some people, after they get knocked out once, now all of a sudden they got a glass jaw. So we don't know how Whitaker is going to look, and we don't really know. At least I don't. I don't know too much about his opponent, but it's going to be interesting to see how Whitaker, comes back. Is he going to come back and get a couple of wins and then shoot for the title again, or is he going to maybe possibly fade away as an ex-champion? I mean, he's still tough as nails guy. I respect him a lot, but I don't know. I don't know if he's going to regain the title eventually. Maybe he'll lose weight and go down to 170. I don't know. That would be awesome.
Yeah. Israel doesn't think Whitaker's going to win.
I don't know. It could go either way.
He's actually predicting the other guy. That's what he said in the last fight he had.
Well, he probably Whitaker.
Saying that Jared's going to win. That's who he thinks he's going to end up fighting. Then he said, if Whitaker wins, he'll be happy to knock him out again.
Right. Israel is getting a little bit too loud for my liking. I mean, I think I like him, but it seems like he's trying too much. He's trying to be the cool guy too much. He should just be who I believe he really is deep down, where you don't have to curse so much. You don't have to showboat. You don't have to shout out. You don't have to, you don't have to, punch your way through a conversation. Just be calm, cool, relaxed. Don't care about what anybody's going to say. So what? I still don't know what was up with his chest. Some people were like, "Ew, he's got a boob."
I think it's female hormones. That's my comment. I think I might have mentioned that on my podcast. I think he's taking female hormones.
I actually think I know what it is. It could be just a fat tumor. Sometimes people get them in their chest, and and sometimes you get them right there, specifically right there. There's reasons why they grow like that, but it doesn't mean that you have cancer. It doesn't mean that. Whoops. Did I fade away for a second?
Yeah, for a little bit. Yeah, no worries.
Oh, unfortunately, I think my phone is a little bit low. But anyway, we'll see how long this interview will last with me. But what I can say about that particular growth that he might have, he's probably just going to go to a doctor and they're going to give him, some pills, whatever, and it goes away. It's probably just something, could be water, could be a fat tumor, but it's probably something not to be concerned about. But again, he didn't have to defend it like a child and be like, "What are you doing looking at my titty?" That's a child.
I actually didn't pay attention to any of his responses, actually. I just can't believe that people were focusing on it so much.
I think that people wanted to focus on it because they knew if they mentioned it, then he would get defensive. And I think that's what they want. They can't stand that they can't beat him, so they'll try to make fun of him. And, too bad. You're not going to be able to satisfy everyone. And the people who are the loudest are usually the jerks. Anyway, I don't really care. I'm here to talk about the fight. All right. I think that I don't know much about this new guy. Sorry, I'm outside and they got the train next to me, so you're gonna hear the train.
All right. That's all right. I was just smacking my dog on the side. I don't know if people saw that,
but this new guy, either he's a friend or friendly of not Whitaker, of Israel Adesanya, or he could be honestly that just Israel just doesn't feel like fighting the same people over and over again, and he wants to fight somebody new. Or maybe he thinks he's going to be a more exciting fight, and people will look for a more exciting fight. I don't know, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to see Whitaker.
Yeah. So who do you think is going to win that one, Whitaker or the other guy?
I don't know. If Israel's saying that the other guy is going to win, maybe Israel knows something. Maybe he's trained with him before. Maybe he's seen him. Maybe obviously he knows more about him than I do, but. I don't know. I think the safe bet is to go Whitaker. We'll see what type of Whitaker comes out. We'll see if he's going to get knocked out early. We'll see if he's going to come back with a fury and wants to regain his title. Who knows? We don't know.
Yeah. I think I'll go with Israel's pick. I think I'm going to go with Jared, even though I don't really know too much about him.
Yeah. Either way, it doesn't matter. You're not betting money on it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So now on to the main event, Khabib versus Ganji. What do you
Gaethje,
think?
Gaethje.
Because
So
I'm trying to think. Didn't Ganji get hurt once? I'm trying to remember. He only got beat once, right? In the UFC, I'm trying to remember. He's got 2 losses on his record.
it's probably right. He might have. I think he got knocked out during a champion during a uh,
See this. This is gonna bother me now.
he got knocked out to someone who had the championship. It was the guy that Connor beat for the 155.
Alvarez?
No, was it? Yeah, I think it
Oh
was.
no, he lost. Yeah, he lost to Eddie Alvarez. He actually, when he lost 2 fights in a row. Actually, he lost to
Yeah,
Eddie Alvarez and then Dustin Poirier.
yeah, which is ridiculous. He should have never lost to
And he
Porter.
lost two. He went like I think 17 fights in a row. Then he had 2 losses, and then he's been on a 1, 2, 3, 4 fight win streak. The
Yeah,
last fight he had with Ferguson was insane,
he
insane.
he went. I was listening to interviews, and he had a long talk with his with his camp, and they said, "Listen, I know you love to fight, but you're having too much fun in there." They said, "If you want to stay in the win column, you can't have as much fun as you want to." And they tried to tell him, like, stop going in there swinging. You know, you have all the tools, you have the ability to beat everybody. You just got to be a little bit smarter and uh, not just go in there and just swinging and having fun. And he put together a really great camp, and he was absolutely amazing against Tony Ferguson. I did not know that Gaethje was going to be able to have such amazing, not footwork, but where he was always ready. And to tell you the truth, that's how if I fight someone, I fight someone exactly how Gaethje was, where you understand about stance, you understand about how that pole is supposed to go from your head through your shoulders, through your hips, down to the ground, and you're always supposed to be be in a stance where you're ready to go. There's one thing about Gaethje in that fight with Tony Ferguson. He was never off balance. He was
Yeah,
always ready on balance to throw, whether it was a kick or a punch or to move. He was never uh, off balance or not ready where he had to well, all of a sudden, Tony would throw something and he wasn't ready to move. He was always ready. It looked like he was ready to run a race the entire time, and he stayed directly in front of Tony Ferguson. He made sure that he was always straight, and if he was ever off, if he ever needed to get away from a punch, he was out of the way. He was very, very quick to move, and I thought he did an amazing job. I
yeah,
know I'm talking about Tony Ferguson, but the thing is, if he takes that same mindset, and now you're looking at Khabib, who is very, very different, well, you know it's going to be eventually going to the ground. But Gaethje is excellent as far as stopping the takedown. So I think that it's smart for Gaethje, even though he's very good on the ground as well. I think it's smart for him to, as everyone says, try and keep it on the feet. But Gaethje has a lot of power, and I think that Tony can take a better punch than Khabib. So I think that if Gaethje is able to land on Khabib as he did Tony,
mm,
I think he's going to take it. And to tell you the truth, I know it's not a safe bet, but I'm going to go with Gaethje on this one. If he comes out and he fights as devastatingly perfect as he did with Tony Ferguson, I'm gonna go with Gaethje on this one.
yeah. I think he's gonna win because ever since I've only watched World Series of Fighting like 2 or 3 times. Because there was like I forget the guy's name. There was a Henzo Gracie guy that fight in there. Uh, his name slips my mind, but he actually held the belt in 2 different weight divisions. He's from New York. Actually teaches in Hoboken now. His name just escapes me. It'll come to me probably when I'm off this interview with you. But Justin was also on that card, and I just remember Angie just like I was like amazed at how powerful he was, and he was undefeated at that time, and he won. He was like I think he defended the belt wonder if it even tells you. Let's see. He defended. Let's see if it says it in here. He holds the record for the most consecutive title defenses in the organization. He defended the title 5 times. So that goes to show you. You know, I mean, it's the fighters in there aren't as elite as they are in the UFC, but I mean, the guy defends the belt 5 times.
Oh yeah,
And he lit up everybody
football.
once he went to the UFC. He had a few consecutive wins once he started. So I'm gonna go with Ganji on this one, and then I think it's up for Connor. Him and Connor to step up.
I would love to see Connor go up against who did Gaethje lose to? You said it was
Ferguson.
Alvarez, and who else was there?
Yeah.
What's that? No,
Connor
not
beat Alvarez, but the other one is Poirier. He beat them both.
Poirier. I want to see Connor and Poirier again.
Yeah.
That would be a good fight.
I don't know. I think Connor would win again if he's in a fighting shape.
I don't know. I have to see. I think that Poirier definitely did get a lot better.
Yeah.
But
you know what I like to see? You know what I like to see? If Dana Watch is listening to the show, I want the UFC to do what Pride and Bellator does. Put together a Grand Prix tournament. I don't know if you probably remember the Pride days. Did you ever see Bellator does that? Like, even though they have a title holder or whatever the weight division is, they put together a Grand Prix, and sometimes they invite people from other organizations in it. So everybody in there is at one point either a champion or has fought for the championships. And it's just another round. And every week it's another round to see who gets to the finals. That's what I like to see. I like to see like let's say for the lightweight belt, you know, Justin, Khabib, Connor, Ferguson, and Poirier. Put them in and see who takes the Grand Prix belt. I think that would be interesting. And then if they could do the same thing with the other divisions, like spice it up, man. Spice it up, you know, change it up. I mean,
but what
bring back the tournament
structure? How is it structured different?
Well, like I said, is what they do is they make it. It's not like it's like the old days of Pride, but it's not like the PFL. I don't know if you've seen the PFL. The PFL, what they did is they turned the fighting season into like what they do with other sports. So the PFL, if you win, depending on the quicker you win, the more points you get. And then you go into the semifinals and the finals, and the winner gets $1 million, no matter what the belt is, right? Middleweight, heavyweight, whatever. Bellator does it more like Pride, where they take a pool of people and they just submit them into the Grand Prix. Even if you're the champ of that division, you start from scratch. And then every week, two people fight, and then the final, they have like a bracket here and a bracket there. And then whoever wins the bracket goes down. It's maybe like 8 people, let's say 8 fighters total, 2 pair off, 2 pair off, 2 pair off. And the winners of each round until a process of elimination. And then at the end, it's the final 2. And sometimes it's not necessarily the champ in there. You know what I mean? He still retains his title, but now it's a different title. And then sometimes what they do is they invite people from other organizations like One or Risen to compete in it. So I think they should do that. I think the UFC needs to spice it up a little bit. You know?
I know. I think they got enough spice with having to change the way that they hold competitions already. So I think it's going to be probably about another year or 2 before there's any type of new spice. So, but I hear what you're saying. You know, we've been watching this for a really, really long time. And of course, you know, you get as much as it's entertaining, it gets a little bit boring with, all right, same divisions, same this, same that. What they even could do is, you know, some people are saying, oh, they should allow women to fight men. Well, I feel that's a really, really bad idea.
Yeah, that's a really bad idea.
Right. But what they could do, which I thought would be awesome, is something I was thinking about. Like you had this Grand Prix thing, and I was thinking, like, do you remember Rocky 1? Rocky 1, the underlying, like, some people might forget that the story was that he was fighting in these, small time organizations, and then you had the champion who
Smokers.
gave. What's that?
The smokers, yeah. Yeah,
Well,
he fought
the champion.
smokers, and then the champion just made an offer to some random guy, and that's how he got a shot, right? Well, I mean,
Right. So,
they kind
but
of did do that with the last few Ultimate Fighters, right? Whoever won, I think it was the last two. One of them was Mighty Mouse. I forget who the other one was. Actually, I think that might have been the only series. What they did is they brought together all world champions from different organizations. And then the winner of the UFC Ultimate Fighter series then went to fight for the belt. And I think the only one they
right,
did that with was with Mighty Mouse.
right. But what I feel that they should do is they don't have to get a champion. They could just get someone they can get where it would have to be kind of proven that the person isn't a champion, and try to give them a shot where it's somehow they win a chance to fight whoever they want in the UFC, where it would be a combination of maybe, I don't know. I was just thinking that, well, they have to be a fighter. They have to know how to fight. Or if they just win, if, let's say, it was just somehow a gamble and they win this prize, then what they can do is they can say, all right, I get 6 months of free lessons any day of the week that I want, 7 days a week. They win 6 months to put themselves together as a fighter, and then they get to fight either the champion or they get to fight, someone in the division in the weight class that they fit into. I just thought it might be kind of cool, and they could also do like, hey, this month, with with Joe Schmo, he's looking better and he's losing weight and he's working out with this professional at this camp. Like maybe, or even 3 months, 3 months where 1 month he goes to one camp, another month he goes to another camp. And then, that last month, he has like the people who are going to support him in the fight. I just thought it might be kind of cool. Something like that.
Yeah. Or they could do the other thing that Bellator did is it's similar to the Grand Prix, but it was you fight more than once in one night. So the first round, I think, is only two rounds. The first fight is only 2 rounds, and then if you make it to, so you only fight twice. If you make it past the first fight, then your third fight is 3 rounds because of the regulations they got now. You can't do more than 5 rounds in one night. That might be another interesting one, but we'll see. I mean, we're just speculating here, but like getting back to this fight, the UFC 254, right?
Well,
That's not this weekend. It's the following weekend, October 24th. I guess we'll find out if the picks are right. So, again, we're picking Ganji for the main card, and I'm going with Jared for the co-main event, and you're going with Robert Whitaker, right?
Yeah,
So
I mean, my opinions aren't as strong. Like, I don't know if Gaethje's going to win it, but if I had to pick, I think Gaethje will probably. I'm sorry, Whitaker is probably going to win, and then with Gaethje, I'm just so excited for that fight. I honestly think it's going to go into. I don't think he's going to be able to finish it in the first round. I think Gaethje is going to need at least second, third, fourth, or fifth round, and I honestly think it's going to be a knockout. I think it's going to be a knockout or a pummeling.
Yeah, and your video went out. And for everybody who doesn't know, I guess because of the time zone differences, it's going to be at 2 p.m. Eastern time. And I guess that would be like, 11 a.m. if you're on the West Coast here in the U.S. It's not the normal time of 10 p.m. So if you're going to get it, make sure you're aware of that. It's during the afternoon. I'm sure you can catch it on replays at night, but just to keep you guys aware. And then that's pretty much it.
Well, I'm going to be excited to be able to watch a UFC when I'm not falling asleep half the time.
Yeah.
You know,
Maybe we can get together, like if we find out it's on replay, somehow. Maybe they have it at 5 or something, or maybe I'll just come by. I don't know. I got to see what's going on.
Hey, Mark,
But
listen. From your buddy Zane, what I actually want you to maybe try to do one time is during the fights, if we can have commentary in between the rounds. So I was honestly thinking what I think, not that you need any help from me running your business, but maybe one of these times we could, take the UFC as we're watching it, and then in between the rounds we can give our quick opinion.
we could do that. They call it, I think that's normally called a watch party. Like you go on Facebook and everybody watches it. But, people watching the show or listening to the podcast, let me know. If you got the Anchor app, download it. You can send me a message directly right from the Anchor app and let me know. All right, guys, this is Mark the Shark signing off. Zane, it was good to have you on the show. See you guys next week.
Thanks, Mark. Take care.
Guys, if you're watching us on YouTube, make sure you hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel and hit the alert button so you get updates. And also, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. This podcast episode is also brought to you by Ritordo Family Books. If you're interested in great books for your children to read, get books by Christina Ritordo. And if you're interested in action, thriller, suspense books, you can get The Cabal, The Saga Begins, or fantasy books like Marcus the Vampire, both written by your host, Marc the Shark Ritordo. Again, go to www.ritortofamilybooks.com.
All right, guys, we'll be right back, but first a word from our sponsors.
During World War II, I was in prison in a Nazi camp. I died there, or so I thought. Instead, I became a creature of the dark world. Now I fight to protect my daughter. I am Marcus the Vampire. The book is now available at Amazon and BarnesandNoble.com and RitortoFamilyBooks.com.
All right, guys, this week's episode is done on a live show. But if you happen to be listening to this in a podcast format, keep listening because there's more content to follow. All right, guys, see you guys next week.